Joining us now is Steven Sanchez. He is not far from where those explosions took place near the Stade de France. Steven, set the scene for us. What did you hear? What did you see?
Hey, I was about 3 blocks away from the soccer stadium here in Paris. I just want to start by saying I'm not actually from Paris. I'm here just kind of as a layover until I fly to Turkey. And I was, like I said, I was about 3 blocks away, and I heard what sounded like 2 or 3 loud explosions. And of course, because I wasn't super close, I wasn't sure exactly where it came from. So I started walking towards that soccer stadium where it sounded like the explosions came from. And that's when I saw people trying to run out and police arriving on the scene.
So what happened next? You saw the president, the French president, was at that match. You saw him being whisked away?
Yes, I saw multiple cars driving out at a very fast speed, and I'm also a reporter for a small outlet in the United States, so I'm actually here waiting for a flight to Turkey to cover President Obama when he travels. But I glanced over and I happened to recognize the president in the back of one of the secured vehicles, and I immediately knew that something had to be going on.
Steven, what did you see as far as activity outside of the stadium when you saw the French president being whisked away like that? Just describe the police presence, the scene on the street.
The police got here what seemed relatively quick. It couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 minutes, but that's just a guess. I mean, as you can imagine, everything's happening so fast that people aren't really keeping track of time. But I would say police got here immediately, and it's been a big police presence. But as you can imagine, getting the French president out was a top priority. So there was a lot of security presence around that exit also that he came out of.
Steven, have you had a chance to talk to anybody who lives in Paris to get their reaction to this, or anyone who lives near that stadium there?
I've talked to a couple people here that I could communicate with because I don't speak French. I've talked to a few people that have just said that they were there was a lot of confusion and a lot of course, fear in the area. I've talked to one person who said that they've come to France or to Paris at least twice a year for the past couple years, and that this frightens them, especially after what happened in January with the Charlie Hebdo attack, and then with the train attack a couple months ago, and then now today. So people are scared.
Steven, just stand by. I want to just tell our viewers what they were looking at there. That was the scene from the Stade de France as people were running away in fear, evacuating that stadium. We had understood earlier that the stadium was on lockdown, but now it looks, at least from these images here, that people were able to evacuate from that stadium. Did you see people, Steven, running out of the stadium and trying to get away from the scene of chaos?
As I arrived on the scene, I did see people trying to run out still. It was before there was a very heavy police presence. It looked like the police had blocked off an area around the soccer stadium. I'm actually maybe 2 blocks away now because the police asked everybody to move back. But they did ask everybody to move back, so we've moved back. And it looked like they were trying to secure the area around the soccer stadium before letting people out because, of course, not very many people were able to get out of the stadium. Of course, they were running in fear, but not many people got out before the police got here.
All right, Steven Sanchez, who is there in Paris, not very far from the Stade de France, where some 80,000 people had gathered to watch a match between France and Germany. Several explosions going off in the middle of that match. Now we understand, or at least we can see, that people have been able to get out. Steven, thank you and stay safe.